Hello, guys. Let's continue with this series of ideal romantic partners. This is going to be the last video, the last reading for this series. I'm going to dedicate this to Shinee, Taemin, and EXO Sky, because someone actually in the comment section recommended me to do this reading, and I think that we was very interesting because of course that she also mentioned that I read recently for the two of them, to see their dynamic. So she asked me if there was a possibility to read for them about this matter, about their ideal types, romantic types. So and she really convinced me because she mentioned something about that sometimes these idols are the most like babies, but like I don't know how to pronounce it in English. It's not babies, it's babied, like they treat them like babies, or like they adore them so much, but yet they are this very strong, like sometimes they are sexualized as well, so it's a bit weird. Actually this also happens with the magnets of the group, so it's interesting the kind of logic that she brought up. I think that this is something that I could do also an individual reading for this, for what an energetic reading for the idols that get babied a lot and at the same time are very sexualized. So it's like, there's like a double standard there that is very weird, but at the same time it's interesting, and I think that it's interesting to see actually behind all these very like sexualized image, or the fact that probably they are really attractive or they are very distinctive because of their attractiveness and their popularity in their group. So let's see a bit about what their ideal types are. Let's start with Kai. I placed Kai on the left and I placed Taemin on the right, and I'm going to keep it as brief as possible because since we mentioned before, I had read for them, so this is like actually to do this reading for this person that I like the way she actually like made this reasoning in the comment section. I think that it's really interesting. So let's see a bit about this. So starting with Kai, we have the archetypes of the warrior, damsel, and servant. And then from the oracle of romantic angels, we have the card of flirt. So let's go. Starting with the warrior, definitely I think that Kai's taste hasn't changed that much, in the sense that probably initially he does like someone that has like a strong personality, probably someone that it's, I wouldn't say aggressive, but it's someone that which their presence is very like strong, magnetic, and this kind of person that has this kind of attitude where you probably are a bit intimidated by that person at first. But I think that not so much about this attitude. It's more about, because the warrior, it's more about, it's not only about you being passionate, or you coming off as being really like with a strong attitude, or with this kind of body language where you seem to be like a tough person. I think that when we think about the warrior archetype, I think he definitely wants someone that fights for causes, for the right causes, probably someone that stands up for others. So in this sense, I think that this is what makes a good first impression of him, and at the same time what he finds ideal. And I think that this it's because if we think about his past relationships, maybe people can associate this archetype or this warrior archetype and actually associated with Crystal and Jenny's image. And actually, I think it's very different from what their energy actually is, because I think that nowadays I think he values someone that probably is a bit more like a fighter, that they fight for the rights, that they fight for everyone to have for different causes, not only for what concerns them. I think that the warrior archetype, it's an archetype that talks about you like being like a fighter in life, like in the sense that nothing has been easy for you, or that somehow you did have a lot of personal battles to win, or a lot of obstacles, and that your life hasn't been easy. So this is why you are somehow used to fight for your way, or fight to make things like more fair for you and others. So I think that if I have to think about this warrior archetype, I would think about some kind of, I would also associate it with the adventure kind of archetype, like it goes beyond you fighting for your ideas or beliefs or your vision or your desires. It's more about being selfless, and fighting for a common cause that can benefit everyone. So, and then we have the card of themselves. So, yes, even though he does appreciate someone that is a warrior in life and that it has this very active attitude towards getting their goal, at the same time, he's still attracted to femininity, and probably what he finds attractive is someone that is very, that even though this person can have this kind of attitude where they seem to be independent and very assertive, at the same time he likes when this person actually acts a bit clueless about certain things, especially so he can come into the picture and act like a saber, and being like, I think that this is what his masculine side wants to, feels attracted to, to see the female somehow in a kind of distress, or in a kind of complicated situation where she needs of his assistance or of his help. I think he finds that very ideal. I think that he also, there's a part of him that he wants to feel needed. He wants to be there. He wants to feel like he makes a difference in that person's life. He doesn't want to feel like he's an accessory, or like he is like this very wanted um, person, and that he is. Because I think that this is what happens with Kai's. And I'm talking about his energy from his perspective. I'm not saying that this is what happened, but I read for him and his interaction with his former love interest. And I always had the feeling that he was like this very object of desire from part of these women. So I think that somehow this also made him feel a bit uncomfortable, even though it was funny at first and it was like interesting, to see that he got all the attention. I think that now that he's more matured, he definitely wants to be the man in the relationship. And he wants to have by his side someone that is very humble enough that, of course, it's not someone that doesn't have self love or self value. Of course, he wants, this is why the warrior archetype is first. He definitely admires someone with a strong personality and character, but at the same time, he wants this person to somehow surrender to him, but in a loving way, and allowing him to take the role of the male, to take the role of the provider, to take the role of the gentleman, to be the one that makes her feel safe. He wants to feel useful in a relationship. He wants to feel proud that he is contributing to her happiness. So I think that probably in other relationships, he did feel a bit confused and frustrated about what were these females needs, because he seemed to actually not knowing what to do with them, especially because they had such a strong character that somehow they overpower him. They were like they 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 took so much protagonism in the relationship that even though maybe they didn't directly told him what to do, but maybe they would react in a certain way, or they would have a certain body language that would let him know that, oh, okay, like I shouldn't do this, like, oh, maybe now is not the right time, oh, she's not responding me, she's not contacting me, she's not talking to me, so maybe I shouldn't say anything because she will get upset. So I think that now she wants like a kind of he wants a kind of softer feminine side of this ideal female. Because, well, and then we have the archetype of the servant, which the servant, that label, it actually discard, it has some archetypes that their names are a bit offensive sometimes, but it's very positive, the meaning, in the sense that the servant, it's obviously someone that is very selfless, and that their mission in someone's life is to serve that person, but not from a place of dominion or being submissive, more than enjoying being or of service of others. So, for example, this servant reminds me a lot of Virgo energy. That Virgo loves to be of service to others. So probably he would make like a good couple with someone that is a Virgo sun or has a lot of Virgo placements, because he likes someone that takes care of him, but not to buy him things or to do things for him. He just wants someone that makes these small gestures, like because I think that Kai is very traditional down inside of his heart. He's very traditional, and probably he is the kind of man that probably if he does get married, he would want his wife to stay at home. So, I mean, I know that nowadays it's, women have like a more active role in what is society and jobs and professions. So I don't know if he will actually manage to get someone like that. But I think that maybe if he had children, he would love for his wife to stay at home and raise them. Because there's like a certain traditionalism about him. And I think that it also talks about this damsel, like him feeling secure that he is the one that goes out to the world to make money or to provide for the family, to bring this family some kind of stability. So probably he would appreciate if his ideal partner is someone that doesn't mind to stay at home and make like beautiful things for him, because probably he has this kind of like he has this side of him that probably he likes homemade cooking. He likes to eat delicious homemade cook, and probably, I don't know, he appreciates someone that knows how to do laundry, or having or coming back to a really well organized house, because I think he's not very good at that, or probably if he has his place all arranged or organized, is because someone else does it for him. So it would be for him really, it would make him happy to have this kind of feminine energy in his house, to come back home and know that this person is waiting for him, and that this person with their energy and their effort are making that place feel like home. This is what actually he wants. And then with the card of flirt, definitely I think that he's very flirtatious. So probably what he finds ideal in his romantic partner or in this ideal relationship is for him to not lose the ability to flirt. Probably he does like that, to maintain that kind of game of seduction, where they never get tired of each other, where they're always like teasing each other, provoking each other. Probably he wants to feel really good in his masculinity and in his sexuality, and knowing that he can be flirtatious and that he can be provocative with his loved one, and know that this person, despite the years and them living together, or them like spending too much time together as time passes, that they never lose that kind of touch, that kind of excitement to flirt with one another. So yes, let's go with Taemin. Taemin got the cards of the Exorcist, the Buffon, and the Prince. So Taemin definitely, what his ideal type, he wants someone that, because the Exorcist it's a very strong archetype. I also relate this Exorcist to the healer archetype, because somehow it's someone that has the ability to transform your reality. And I think that Taemin does have like a trauma from the past when it comes to him accepting his own emotional needs. Probably, I don't think he has been wounded in the past, but I think that when it comes to relationships, he doesn't give his all. I think that he's a very profound man, and he has very deep feelings and emotions, but it's like he somehow comes off as apathic when he's in a relationship. So, and this also means that probably he doesn't trust people completely. I think that there's a part of him also that he feels a bit persecuted, or he feels a bit paranoid about who to trust. So when I talk about like this like past wound or trauma, maybe he is a bit traumatized by fame. Like, I don't know his life, but I think that probably he had been through moments where he received a lot of aggressiveness or passive aggressiveness from fans or people that told him that they love him, because he was like suspected to be in a relationship or something like that. Or maybe when, I don't know Chinese fans, or I don't know Taemin's fans, but there's something about everyone being really overprotective over Taemin. Like, oh no, he cannot be with that person. Oh no, that person is not good enough for him. Something like that. A lot of people being opinionated about his life, or about who he should be with, or who his ideal type should be. So I think that this is why he is so confused about his own idea, his own ideals, because he has like all these voices inside of his head, all these loud voices that somehow he wants to get rid of all this feeling of being persecuted, or being like harassed, or being followed everywhere. There's like this feeling I feel it even in my body. This feeling of feeling paranoid, about, and I think that this translates, and this influence, unfortunately, his love decisions. He doesn't know who to trust, so for him it would be really nice to have this kind of a special someone that comes and erupts into his life to exorcise all these old wounds. I think that that Taemin is really scared. He's scared of love. He's scared of being abandoned. It's scared of actually feeling something for someone, and then he is very afraid that this person might get hurt, or that someone will do something to this person just because they are associated with him. So I think that if he wants this exercise kind of a person, so they can come into his life and save him somehow from all these inner fears, because I don't think that this is something that he's completely aware of. I think he does feel it in an unconscious way, that he has like a very repetitive pattern of fears, that they somehow disappear, but then they come back, and it's very recurrent. And then with the other archetype, the Buffon. The Buffon definitely is obviously someone that is the Buffon or the clown. I think he wants someone that is like a clown, someone that is really funny, that can make him laugh like really hard, so he can forget about all his, so he can relax. I think that definitely laughter makes Taemin connect with his inner child. So probably this is why he wants someone that can make him laugh a lot, and until his stomach hurts. Probably he wants someone that their personality is very funny, is very witty, is very fast. I think that humor definitely it's very sexy for him. Um, and then we have the card of Prince, the archetype of Prince. So yes, Prince, it's a card of someone that it's always like coming with a proposition of love. It's the kind of person that write to you love letters, that always leaves you these hidden notes of reminding you that they love you, or they do these small gestures. They make meal for you. They prepare these small gestures, so during the day you can feel their presence in your life, and their love and their unconditionality. I think that he definitely wants an unconditional love. He wants someone that always reminds him that he's loved. I think he definitely, even though he is loved by a lot of people, because he is, sometimes for him, he just wants someone to love him for who he really is, with all his matices. He does have a lot of features, he does have a lot of layers to his personality. And sometimes he can be the sweetest, and sometimes he can be a spoiled brat, or sometimes he can be like detached. Sometimes I have the feeling that he's also very stubborn. So probably this person has to be really loving with him and very patient with him, because sometimes I think that a Taemin personality, actually I think it got like, I think it stopped growing after he became like after he debuted. I don't know at what age he debuted, but I think that that age was marked when it comes to his personality development. And I'm not talking about his development as an artist or as a singer or a performer. I'm talking as a man. As a man. I think somehow he stayed being a teenager until today. I think he's still like in his private moments, he still acts like a teenager. There's something very childish about him. And I think that this is why sometimes he sometimes doesn't even make the effort to meet people. It's like, because he is lucky enough to have a lot of people interested in him. So it's like he's like the kind of person that is like the receiver of offers, the receiver of love offers. So he never met until today someone that was interesting enough for him to make the first move, or actually someone that he really gets his attention, and he's like, oh, I have to go and meet that person. No, because everything is like already settled down for him. And I don't know if maybe his frustration also comes from a place of people arranging like blind dates for him, or arranging trying to set him up with other people, and somehow he doesn't like that. I think that there's a bit of awkwardness when it comes to actually him not liking to be set up with people. It doesn't matter if he knows them or not, but I think that somehow he just wants things to be like to have their own rhythm. And for him, he sometimes gets a bit like a bit moody when people are like, oh, you need to find yourself a girlfriend, or especially I think that this pressure comes from his family, and he's still in this like teenager kind of vibe. So I think that he still is not connected with a true desire to settle down, but definitely he wants to his ideals someone he wants someone that he can trust, someone that he can turn to when things are not going really well. um, I still think that he needs to work on he needs to mature a little bit, because I don't think he is actually um, in this stage in his life where he can actually provide for someone in a relationship. I think that he still, as boyfriend material, doesn't have much to do, because he's very concentrated in his career. So probably after he turns 30 or 32 or 33, I don't know how old is he, then he will eventually connect with um, what he can offer someone. But now I think that he's still in this stage where, and I also blame this to the people around him. And I think that when we this person that commented me that talk about baby your idols, and I think that this is very interesting, because I see it more in Taemin than in Kai actually. um that is like, I think that in the case of Taemin, I think that some people are too overprotective of him, and this is what is causing a lot of confusion in his desires. So because if I see the clown here, or the buffon, definitely it's really nice to have a kind of partner, and that it's funny, and that um, it's like a clown that makes you laugh. But I think that also, if you think about the clown archetype, I think he definitely wants someone that is childish as well. Someone that is always making jokes, that doesn't take life seriously. So maybe there's something there that there has to be a deeper reason why he prefers this, and not so much like, because these traits are very general. I'm like, I don't know if maybe he's not letting me see exactly who his ideal type is, because I see it like these archetypes being very vague and general, like I cannot like have a vision of someone. So probably he's still figuring out who his ideal type is. Because if I have to put these archetypes to these three archetypes together, I believe this would be three different people, not three traits in one person. So I don't know. Maybe he does have a lot of three people in his life that he's interested in, and he doesn't know which one to choose. And then the other card from the Oracle of Romantic Angels, he got the card of chemistry. So yes, for Taemin right now in his life and everything that he had been experiencing so far, he wants someone that he can have chemistry with. And I think that this also is connected to what I mentioned before. I believed that a lot of people like force him to to go on dates with people that he doesn't or he didn't have chemistry with. So I think that he's showing me here the chemistry card, and I think that it's for him it's extremely important. And I think that if he meets someone that he has like a great chemistry with, he will probably marry that person because I think that he hasn't experienced that with anyone yet. And I think that he this is what he wants. He wants this kind of silent chemistry, silent telepathy, silent connection, where each other's presence, where there's a lot of skinship, where there's a lot of like silent agreement, where you two look into each other's eyes and you see each other's souls and you get each other. I think he wants that feeling. He wants that sensation. Definitely, I think that if he met people, probably he did feel like the person had chemistry with him, and that they wanted to get closer to him. But I think that he never felt the reciprocity. He never felt like he felt chemistry with that person. Or probably if he felt chemistry with someone, that person didn't reciprocate him. So I think that for Taemin, chemistry is important because it's not easy for him to find it, or it's not easy for him to connect with someone and be like, okay, we are each other's chemistry. We are connected. We get each other. I think he wants so bad to have this and feel reciprocated, because I think that in the past things had been weird and had been really awkward, especially because of the amount of pressure of the people setting him up with all these people. So I think that I think that at the end, like the last months, he was like, okay, please, I don't want to go on dates anymore. Stop setting me up with people because this is embarrassing. Like he himself feels like he wants to give up on dating because it's like he doesn't have the desire, to do it, because somehow he wants like a very genuine connection. But he's very intuitive, and I think that he still hasn't had experienced that sensation of deja vu, or that sensation of eureka, that insightful moment where you're like, wow, I'm in presence of this very special person. I think I can click with this person. I think I can get along with this person. I really like this person's energy. I think that he hasn't been able to feel that yet. So yes. So yes, guys, this is all I have for them. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you do, please don't forget to leave a like. And at the same time, give me your feedback about what do you think about these two and their ideal romantic partners. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. This is going to be the end of this series. So next week, I'm going to start with the regular readings that I have pending. So thank you so much. Bye.